Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3DGameMan.com, and this next Q&A video is about video cards. The AMD 7970 versus the NVIDIA GTX 680 and how they compare in a multiple video card configuration. Now, before I get to this question, remember, if you have a question for me, head on over to 3DGameMan.com. Also keep in mind, you can post there anonymously, and by the way, the link for this particular video is below. Now, before I get into which video card is the fastest, let me go over some of the default stock specs on both of these video cards, keeping in mind that the core speed and memory speed will change and vary depending upon the video card. Okay, here it goes. Let's start with stream processors. The 7970 has 2048, the 680 has 1536. Texture units are the same at 128. Raster operations are the same at 32. Clock speed and the memory speed is approximately the same speed for both of these video cards. The clock speed for them around the core speed is around 1 gigahertz, memory speed 5.5 gigahertz to 6 gigahertz, but that's going to vary. The core speed will vary and the memory speed will vary depending upon the video card. As for video card memory, the 7970 has 3 gigabytes as opposed to the 680, which has 2 gigabytes. Now, the 7970 consumes more power at 250 watts as opposed to the 680, which consumes 195 watts. And if you're concerned about power supply leads, this might be important to you. The 7970 has one 6-pin and one 8-pin. The 680 has two 6-pin leads. Now, what kind of power supply should you have for a single video card? Well, it's debatable, but a 500 to a 600 watt power supply should be fine if you have a single video card. If you have a couple of these, I would go to like an 800 watt power supply and possibly higher depending upon what other kind of hardware that you have in your computer system. Now, when it comes to the display outputs like the DVI and the display ports and HDMI and all that kind of stuff, I think this will vary as well, depending upon the video card and who's making it and what they decide and what kind of connectors that they have. But generally speaking, on the 7970, you'll have one dual link DVI, 2 mini display ports, and 1 HDMI. The 680 video card, you'll have a couple of dual link DVIs, 1 display port, and 1 HDMI. But I think, like I said, that will vary depending upon the manufacturer and what they decide to do for that. Okay, so which video card is faster overall? Well, from all of the reviews that are out there comparing both of these video cards with current drivers, the 680 wins overall, but not by much. So here is my recommendation. If you want to save a few bucks, go with the 7970. If you're getting a couple of these, again, performance will be pretty much on par. So, it depends really if you're an AMD fan or an NVIDIA fan. It depends on your motherboard and things like this. Also, other factors, spec-wise and so on and so forth, that might influence which video card that you want to purchase. The money is still probably on. Best bang for the buck would be the 7970 because it is a little cheaper. I think it runs anywhere from $50 to $100 cheaper per video card, which is not a lot of money when you're up in the $500 range. So I hope this answers your question, and keep your questions coming. Remember, if you have a question for me, head on over to 3dgameman.com and post it in the forum.